Tie and Tie Show, not to be confused with the Kyle and Kyle Show, is a saga that goes back to ancient American lore, and we're about to see it unfold this weekend at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 400. One was the bottom seed going from 32nd up till the final bracket, and the other one is literally a kid going from 6th to the final bracket as well. We break down all of that and more, and possible thoughts of what this could look like in the future right after this.
See, the thing is that life doesn't always work out according to plan. So, be happy with what you got. So you can always get a hot dog.
The in-season challenge bracket. Something that I thought we would never see a March Madness style bracket for itself during the summer months. Well, we got it, and this is the first year that we have seen it. Round 1, Atlanta. Round 2, Chicago Street Course. Round 3, Sonoma. Round 4, Dover. And finally, Indianapolis at the Brickyard 400. This track really needed some, pick-me-ups from how lackluster it's kind of been these last few years. So I'm glad they're putting a new spin on this to kind of make it have that crown jewel feel once again. Now, I do have my qualms with some of the scheduling with these 5 races, and we'll get into that a little bit later in this video. But for now, let's talk about the 2 ties, the Battle of the Ties, and how they got to this point so far in this bracket. And I'll just say, if you were to tell me a month and a half ago that this is the 2 that we would have that's going into the final round, I would say you've had a little taste of that Colombian Bam Bam. But alas, here we are. So let's break down first what each driver had to go through to get to this point. Round 1, Ty Gibbs and Justin Haley at the Atlanta drafting track. God, that feels weird still saying that. Obviously, Ty Gibbs beat out Justin Haley for that. The second round, though, I really thought this is where Ty Gibbs could have got knocked off. He was facing against AJ Allmendinger at a road course, the Chicago Street Course. And typically, Allmendinger been really good at road courses, although a little bit lackluster here lately, still finishing top 10, top 15s. But man, Ty Gibbs has really come around on these road courses. So, boom, knocks off AJ Allmendinger in the round 2. Then we go to the beautiful hills of Sonoma, California. Ty Gibbs faced off against Zane Smith. To me, that was one of the easier ones to come around and beat, although I do really like Zane Smith. That one wasn't really too much of an underdog as far as, taking him on there. He was seated pretty high to start this. He was number 6 at the time. Smith was number 14. So he took care of business there. Although Zane Smith did take care of Austin Cindric in round 1 and Christopher Buescher in round 2, it was pretty incredible that he made it that far. He was really doing a great job knocking these people out. And moving on after that, this one really shocked me. I thought when we saw the final 4, which was Tyler Reddick and Ty Gibbs, and then Ty Dillon and Nemechek, everything I had in my body was saying Tyler Reddick and John Hunter Nemechek. And then Gibbs went out there and took out Tyler Reddick at Dover. It was so exciting. I couldn't believe it. We had a lot of wave rounds going on, lucky dogs, things like that. But Ty Gibbs got it done, man. He beat out Tyler Reddick. And here we are. Final round, we have Ty Gibbs. Now let's go over and look at Ty Dillon and his journey through this. Again, he was the bottom seed in this whole damn thing. And what he's been doing has just been incredible. He went against number 1, Denny Hamlin, the guy who's pretty much helped implement this in-season tournament into the NASCAR schedule. He was talking about this for a couple of years now. Again, great idea. It's cool to kind of take everything that we have through the season and focus on this little thing we have midway through, kind of March Madnessy. Anyway, Ty Dillon takes on Denny Hamlin, beats him at Atlanta. Now, it's a drafting track, so anything can happen. I have my issues with having a drafting track in this challenge because it just shakes up the entire bracket immediately, but maybe that's what people want. Anyway, we'll talk about that here in a minute. And then he goes on and faces against Brad Keselowski at Chicago at a street course. Keselowski, he's very up and down on road courses, but Ty Dillon went ahead and got it done. And then this one really shocked me. Ty Dillon against Alex Bowman. Now, Bowman, he is extremely underrated at road courses. Maybe he's about rated where he should be nowadays. But in my mind, we don't talk about him enough. Ty Dillon, of course, in the last lap, bumped Bowman out of the way and ended up finishing in front of him. Of course, Denny Hamlin got a front row seat to that. I really wish Bowman would have done something a little bit different. I've seen drivers in the past, knowing if they're about to get pushed out of the way, is veer off to the right as quickly as they can going into that final turn and just kind of not brake checking them, but slowing down to that car's right side. So it doesn't give them the opportunity to just push them through the corner and pass them. You're basically going to that corner then side by side, and there's nothing they can really do at that point. I would have liked to see a little bit more defense regarding that. Everybody could kind of see it coming. There's $1 million on the line. I don't blame them for doing that. But then moving on, we had Ty Dillon and John Hunter Nemechek going over at Dover. And Ty Dillon, he got it done. I was really rooting for Nemechek, man. I really like Legacy Motorsports. I really like Jimmy Johnson, of course. So I was really rooting for him, but he got it done. We have a Ty Dillon. We have a Dillon brother in the final round. Now, if we start looking at some of the racing insights comparing these guys head to head so far through the season, it's not even close. It's really not even close. Through 21 starts for both of these guys, of course, none of them has a win so far this year. But you look at top fives, Gibbs has 4, Dillon has 0. You look at top tens, Dillon only has 1 top 10 throughout 21 starts this year. Ty Gibbs has 6. Laps led, Dillon has led under 10 of those. Ty Gibbs is over almost 100. The average running position for both, Gibbs bests him by almost 8 positions, around 16 compared to 24. Finishing positions, again, Ty Gibbs. And then best finish, Ty Gibbs has finished second. And Ty Dillon has an 8th place finish, his only top 10 of the whole year. So when you look at that, Ty Gibbs has the advantage. But that's when we go over and start looking at their actual stats at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which just so happens to be Ty Dillon's best track that is not a super speedway or drafting track. And that's where it gets juicy. So when we start looking at Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the two ties as far as their head-to-head stats, and we look at what that is in the Cup Series, Ty Gibbs only has 1 start. Now he had an engine issue last year, finished in the 20s. Ty Dillon has a few more starts than he does. He has 5. Again, it's really hard to look into this one in particular because Ty Gibbs had that issue with his engine last year. He was running really well, and then he finished in 23rd place last year. But Ty Dillon, again, this is his best track. That is a non-drafting track as far as his average finish goes, of 17.2. I would not count him out at all. I think universally, as NASCAR fans, most people are rooting for Ty Dillon here. Instead of Ty Gibbs, it just seems like Ty Gibbs can just be such a hateable character. A lot of people say this is a silver spoon kid, if you would. And a lot of people don't feel that same necessary sentiment towards Ty Dillon because he's not racing for Pawpaw over there at RCR. He's kind of been forging his own path here, and which is very commendable. I really do like Ty Dillon. He has a shot here, and everything that he has, he's not thinking about playoffs. He's not thinking about anything like this. Sure, they have a chance to get in, but his main goal is to beat Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs has a lot more on the line as far as playoff implications go. Ty Dillon, man, he's just going to be completely looking at what he's doing, and they're going to be changing their race strategy around that. These guys are fired up to be in this position, and I think there's a really good likelihood they're actually going to make it happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who is going to get it done? Is it going to be Ty Dillon, the lowest seed to come into this, who beat so many guys? This is just David versus Goliath, Ty versus Goliath going through this whole thing? Or is it going to be Ty Gibbs? Is he going to get it done? Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. And please don't say I'm rooting for Ty. Give me that last name. I want to hear it. Now, let's talk about the tracks that are currently in the in-season tournament. A lot of people disagree with what we currently have, myself included. I really think as far as having a drafting track, the first round of this thing, I just think it leads to a lot of chaos. And maybe that's what NASCAR wants. They want a lot of brackets to be folded immediately. I guess, I don't know. But I think as a sport, you just lose so much engagement into that. I mean, how many people were actually following their brackets after race 1, race 2, when everything was busted after that? Chase Elliott won in round 1 at Atlanta, and that moved him forward. Then he got kicked out shortly after that. So it's like, how many people were actually watching their brackets after that? So I think having a drafting track, at least in the very beginning round, I think that's a mistake. Big time. So I do think maybe taking that out or having it a little bit later in the bracket would be cool. Now, if I had a wish list of what I would see in this, it would go as such. Now, I really like the idea of having different tracks in here, like having a short track, a road course, an intermediate, having a drafting track, and a couple crown jewels in there as well. So if you had my opinion on this, I think we start this baby. We start this baby on Memorial Day weekend. We open this thing up with the Coca-Cola 600. We start the Coca-Cola 600, one of the biggest races that we have, a crown jewel event. Not only is it the longest race of the season, but we are starting the tournament. Maybe NASCAR would look at those and say, we already have so much stuff going on with the 600, it can kind of stand alone. I think what better way to end this than to be with a Coke 600. Ideally, we book in these things. We start off with Memorial Day, we end it on the 4th of July weekend. Now, I don't mind the idea of having a road course in here at all, per se. So we do have the Chicago Street Course right now for this year. That is going away for next year. So I really do think we're going to stay in Chicago. I know we're going to have that San Diego track coming out that's been confirmed. I think we are going to be going to Chicagoland. So if I had to pick, I would say we go the Coke 600, the night race, and then we go up to Chicagoland to have another intermediate track up there. And I do like the fact of keeping Sonoma in as well. That is one of my more favorite road courses. We could possibly see about going up to Watkins Glen, staying on the East Coast. Do think staying with Sonoma would be pretty cool after that. So that would be our number 3 track. I definitely think taking Dover out of there for sure. That track, it used to be one of my favorite tracks of all time, man, especially on the NASCAR games and everything. But man, it's just so tough with this package. You can't pass. It's just so annoying to watch. So take that one out completely. After that, after Sonoma, I say we head on down to Darlington. We do a nice Darlington race over there under the lights, another crown jewel event. After that, I say we go over to Indianapolis for our number 5 race. We do the Brickyard 400, another crown jewel event. That is going to be the second to last race for the in-season tournament. And then the next race after that, we would do the night race at Bristol. Now, I know what you're saying. Mike, we have 4 crown jewel events in this in-season tournament. We have the Coke 600, we have the Darlington race, we have Indy, we have Bristol, all smushed right there. And I think that's really what it's about, man. I think how cool would that be? We have the in-season tournament, we have all these crown jewel events. It is the biggest tracks, the biggest events that we have during the year, all smushed into one. I hate the idea of having the last round at the Indy 500, a track that has been, man, just super annoying to watch in previous years, and everything gets so strung out. It's going to be really tough when things get settled in to do a whole lot. I think bring it to the night race at Bristol under the lights. It gives a lot of these smaller teams a chance. So you have teams like Dillon that has worked his way up from the bottom seed to the last round. He has a better chance to go out there and make something happen, really leave it in the driver's hands at the night race at Bristol. So let me know what you guys think. What would you like to see different in the next year's in-season challenge? Would you like to see it expanded to 6 races, possibly like I have here? Maybe doing a 6 race instead of a 5 race, you allow for a double elimination style bracket to happen. And maybe you just take out some of these that I have. So maybe you take out like the Chicagoland and you just have it the Coke 600, a road course, then end it with the 3 crown jewels in Darlington, the Brickyard 400, and Bristol. Whole lot right there. I think we have a lot of wiggle room for what they may do next year. Again, I don't like ending it on the Brickyard 400. I understand why they're doing it because it's a crown jewel event. It's been a little bit lackluster here recent years. They're trying to add a little bit of spark back to the track and doing an event around it already. I get it. But I would love to see a night race at Bristol to end this thing. And also, one more thing with that is, what does this mean? We go through this, we have all these videos that are made, we have all this stuff that NASCAR's hyping up, we're watching the head-to-heads on TV. How much does this really mean? All right, we get $1 million. We've been getting $1 million for the All-Star race for 30, 40 years now. A million goes way less far now than it did then. I get it though. It sounds fancy, it's sexy. I get it. We get $1 million. I really think if you really want this thing, and of course everybody's trying their hardest already, but if you really want this thing to have some legs on it and for it to really, really have some weight to it, I think the winner of the in-season challenge should get an automatic bid into the playoffs. And I understand the playoffs is already a controversial topic. I have my opinions on it as well. It can be very gimmicky at times, but I say if we're going to make it gimmicky, make this thing damn gimmicky. If we're going to have an in-season bracket, March Madness style, let's go ahead and give them a seed into the playoffs. If they're not already in, like say Dillon, he's going to go through all this bullshit of going through this in-season tournament, beating out all these top guys, having an incredible 5-6 weeks, and it's not going to mean anything. He's still going to be sitting on the sidelines, twiddling his thumbs during the playoff time. If you win, you're in. I love that idea. Maybe even the top 2 get in. Or maybe if you win, you get some bonus points or something like that. I think there needs to be some kind of tie to that bigger picture wise with the in-season tournament. Instead of just you hand a check, it goes to the car owner, they divvy it up depending on what your contract is. You move on your merry way and you're in the outside looking in. Ideally, NASCAR would probably want one of the, Kyle Larson, a Chase Elliott, a Hamlin to win this thing, a champion to win this thing. But in these situations like this, it's kind of funny. This happens in the first year. We have two underdogs that are going to win it. And it's awesome they're going to get some money, but I would really like to see it take a step further. If we're already going to be doing gimmicky, let's just make it gimmicky. Let's just give them a spot into the playoffs. Let me know what you guys think on that. I know it's kind of a controversial take, but hey, that's what I'm here for. I want to see some things get shaken up, and I really think we should make it even more important than a little paycheck at the end of the day. But overall, everyone, I do think that this is a really nice change to what NASCAR's been doing. Sometimes the summer months can be in a little bit of a lull. We do, Jesus, have a lot of road courses in here. I feel like we've been to like 3 or 4 in the past month. It's been wild. But only 2 in this bracket. I think we should reduce that down to 1 for sure. But I think overall, the in-season tournament has been a very good thing for NASCAR. It's brought a lot of people in. It's brought a lot of the sports books in. Typically, it's just head-to-head matchups, but now we have a whole bracket system in that's bringing a lot more eyes to NASCAR. And I think overall, for the sport, for it to be healthy, I think that's a good thing. But I do think there is opportunity for this to be a little bit better. I'm going to put some more thought into it over the next few weeks. After this all shakes out and we kind of move on a little bit and think how this could possibly be better, there is room for improvement, but hats off to NASCAR for even attempting to do something like this. I thought it was very outlandish whenever Denny Hamlin mentioned it. I'm like, how the hell would this even work in motorsports? They did implement it. I think it's been a relative success up till this point. It's had a lot of shock for sure. And I think it's here to stay, at least for the next few years for sure. But that's all from me, guys. Again, I appreciate everybody for watching. Let's have a good weekend this week. Hopefully we get some excitement going on in this race. We'll see what ends up happening. But again, let me know who you guys think is going to win. Is it going to be Ty Gibbs or will it be Ty Dillon? Again, give me that last name. Don't just say Ty on that shit. See you guys.
I figured it out. Why hot dogs come in packages of 10 and hot dog buns come in packages of 8. See, the thing is that life doesn't always work out according to plan. So be happy with what you got, so you can always get a hot dog.